Welcome back to Make Me Good. I was going to wait to have the next guest on, but the demand, at least my demand, was so high that we decided to do it sooner rather than later. I'd like to welcome Matt Dillon to the program today. So Matt is a friend of mine, also someone who I work with to help guide me on things from brand building and public relations and television appearances and so forth. He is the master. So Matt is part of the Fashionably Late podcast. He is launched his own jewelry design, a recent billboard in New York City for the MD Effect. He's a TV personality. You will recognize him. He is everywhere in Miami, and anyone who is Miami works with him. Matt,
my
welcome.
brother.
Welcome
and you
to the show.
can't get rid of me. That's the goal. I'm gonna make you good, everybody.
So we said we were going to hold off on this because we worked together, but the demand was
People were
just
texting me going, the dynamic is so like natural and just like the synergy. And I was like, why not? And then I was like, we can like cross promote, and it's actually smart.
Yeah.
Why hold back when you can come forward?
Well, one thing that's genius about you, just to talk about work here for just a second. So one of the things you do really well is kind of the family that you work with from a PR perspective. Mm-hmm. You cross-pollinate those resources better than anyone I've ever seen to have your clients work together to boost themselves.
I think it's a really tried and tested method that I've kind of done over the last kind of 10 decades, Jesus, no. 10 years where the process of actually compiling and winning, a lot of people stay in that lane and they're like, no, I can do it. And they can't break things off and give it to somebody or collaborate.
Yeah.
So people talk this form of collaboration. The art of collaborating is not self-centered or egotistical. The art of collaborating is being able to let go and trust the universe will put you where you're supposed to be with the right people. And that's what not everybody will cross-pollinate. Not everybody will like everybody.
Yeah.
But what if there's like a chance that their audience might take something from your audience?
For sure.
It's worth a shot to say, hey, if you guys flow together, wonderful. If you don't, no problems. But I do believe in the power of community, and that's how I built my whole business.
For sure. So we'll get into fashion, and we're going to talk about health. But something I found when I first met you, I remember telling Zoe, you have this big personality about you.
Which is hairy legs.
There you go.
I said our producer. Thanks, mate.
Hidden secret for the audience. You're so great on television. You just literally go through the television and into someone's lap. You're really good. And I've learned a lot from you there. Was that always there, or is that something you developed over time? Being Matt Dillon, right? Was that inherent? Is that intrinsic, or was that a skill that was learned?
That was the classic fake it till you make it. It really was a process of wanting to be something and wanting to be somebody, given my previous history growing up, and not feeling like I fit in a box somewhere, and that actually is my power now. Not being a square. I was always like, octagon with so many sides, so many different brain waves going at the same time. I want this, I want that. Different strategy though. I'm willing to work my ass off to get to those things, unlike some other people. I think for me, I'm just willing to show up. So was I this person all of the time? Maybe I was deep down, but definitely not on face value at all. Timid, nervous, big dreamer, and then that kind of developed into, well, unless you start to apply and say, I can be this, I can do this. And do the process, you'll never know.
And if you've never seen Matt work a room, it is a thing of genius. I have never seen someone work a room like you. Similarly, was that a skill you had to develop and acquire? Literally, you can go into an event, which you do a lot of, right? You're at a lot of events, you're a high-profile personality. You can make yourself known, felt at large events in front of lots of people with energy, with charisma, with your presence. You have a massive presence at these things. One of the things that I noticed immediately, and it's a positive vibe, right? It's a positive thing. Is that just Matt, or is that something you're going for and you're working hard? Like, you work hard at these things, but it also seems to come kind of naturally.
It's definitely just me. I can't overthink that process too much. I love now, and I think in this day and age, 2025, that I am using the fashion to speak a little bit more as to who I am before you even hear me speak.
Yeah.
But I love walking into a party and love walking into an event and just knowing that energy is something that can be shared.
So I've seen you at parties, and you say that, you know, you're kind of collectively feeding at it, but in fact, in truth, we're usually we're trying to keep up with you at parties, to be honest. Right? I've seen this, and also another interesting thing. And I want to talk a little bit about ego because it's fascinating. But another thing I've seen with you, you expel so much energy. We went to the Sports Illustrated party this year, which is a huge party. Thousands of people, celebrities, influencers, everyone who's big in Miami is there. And the amount of energy you expel at these things is astounding. And at the end of it, you're literally visibly tired. I can see it. Like, you are spent. You have worked so hard. How do you take care of Matt after all of that stuff, right? Because you're putting forth monster efforts and you're putting that energy out, which is getting noticed, by the way. People are drawn to it.
Correct.
But they start to suck up that energy, right? And then you're left with what at the end? How do you
Nothing.
feel after one of these things?
I mean, I think if we use Sports Illustrated as that benchmarker, and we look at when I was there at the end and I was like, drained physically, like ready to go.
Yeah.
But it's that juxtaposition between, the energy goes out and it's sucked away from me and I'm giving it all away, but we're also building and learning and meeting and greeting. And I think that's so important in this business. If you're I've always said, if I'm going to get off the couch to go somewhere and do something, I'm going to make it a movie.
Yeah.
Let's make this a movie.
Yeah.
And let's meet as many people as we possibly can. And let's like connect. I always take it back to community, even if it's A-list celebrities or what have you. But you're right. It's literally now finding that balance for me. I mean, truly, and we're going to break it right down. If this was 5-6 years ago, I'd go home and do a whole 8 ball of cocaine and be ready to go again. Now it's me go home, sit with my dog, and just like just do something that I generally don't have time to do. And when I feel guilty sometimes sitting on a couch, like the next day, sitting there and being like, I should do something. And I was like, you've done everything. And for people to understand, all you do is dress up and go to a party, there is an energy field of almost like it's like somebody opening up and they're sucking it all out with a Hoover. Yeah. And it does deplete me at the end.
Yeah.
But that's also something that I've come to learn. That's the body and my mind both saying, no. You've got to slow down. You've got to stop, because then I'm no good to you guys. I'm no good to myself. And that's important to me, to show up and be, if I'm showing up, I want to be the best at it, and I want to be the baddest in the room.
Well, let's stay there for a second, because I think there's interesting things to unwind here, maybe. So you're your own celebrity of sorts in Miami, and you're young and you're in the Miami scene and you have access to anything and everything, and other people who have access to anything and everything, and you yourself now say, yeah, I'm in that world. I'm driving 800 miles an hour with the resources that are available to me in that world. Yeah. When did you realize, what prompted the change from that to, I don't want to say more mature Matt, because that's not a different Matt. The Matt that is no longer using those things to drive even more success now than you had then.
It's different.
What led to the change? Was it a necessity or was it maturation? Was it what?
It's definitely a growth period, but it's like I also did that when I moved from Sydney to New York, and I was there for 15 years in New York, and I was like, that's the time you trial ebb and flow. And I kind of mentally went through those changes already, and I'm like, well, why would I go and repeat something I did decades ago? Because if it doesn't work for you, it's never going to work for you. You're not going to find balance in doing bad shit. Yeah. Bad shit is just bad shit. Yeah, yeah. So you're never going to find a way to make it work. I couldn't even do it when I was 21. Yeah. I was like, oh, I could do it, but I could never do it to the thing of where I could get up and go to work and do this and do that. Like, there's a lot of, welcome to Miami, baby. There's a lot of functioning alcoholics, drug addicts, the whole thing. I don't know how you do it. I'm at that stage where I have 4 glasses of wine and I'm on the tables. I'm ready to go. And then I'm ready to go home.
So is it an inevitable dead-end street, that life in the fast lane?
For me personally.
But others continue to do it, yes?
Let them do it.
Yeah.
I have no judgment on anybody. It just doesn't serve me well. Mm-hmm. And I like to get up now, and I love doing my walks, and I love being out. And there is a way you can do it all, but it's also like I feel like Miami is very secular, where there's periods of time where it's party. And then it's like maybe a couple of weeks where it's work. Mm-hmm. So there's all you do is work and live your life and what have you. So you mentally have to kind of prepare for these things. Photographers.
Right.
The nuances of personalities at parties are enough to give you the heebie-jeebies, quite frankly.
For sure.
There's, A, Bs, and C and Ds, and all the way to Zs. And the Zs are trying to get into this room, and everybody's trying to get into here. And how that balances everything out, it's a fascinating world. Mm-hmm. It truly is fascinating. But I don't take that shit so seriously. So if we to go back and talk about that concept of ego and what have you, I always say, none of us are curing cancer. You're doing way more important shit than I'm doing.
Yet I'm going to you for help.
That's an interesting juxtaposition. Make me good.
Well, I think the reason, Matt, is my world is very different from yours. We're also very different personalities. I'm more of a... if I go to that same party, my tendency is to sit there and observe people. You're working, but
you're observing me, acting like an animal.
Actually, to be honest, I'm observing you going, damn, I wish I could do that. And that was really part of the reason that I sought you out, is that was a skill set I needed to learn. Mm-hmm. That is not intrinsic to me.
It's in you, though.
Yeah, but it's something I have to work hard at.
Correct.
And you are the master at it. So that really was the reason. But you said something to me before that I found was really interesting, and that is ego can be a good thing. It can be a positive thing, especially in your world. Mm-hmm. How is that?
I think ego, perhaps bravado, however you want to kind of spin the narrative, that if we all had a little bit more of it and leaned into more of it, there'd be less. I come from the LGBTQ plus community. Mm-hmm. I don't really talk about that a lot, so I never really go into any of that because I'm just Matt Dillon. I don't define myself by A, B, C, D, or any of those. Right. But I will say this, that there is sects of communities that find themselves with higher rates of suicide, high rates of this, because they don't have the confidence, they don't have the ego, depression, all of the things. And my thing is, through all the shit that I've done in my life, I've never once had clinical depression. I've never once felt like I'm going to go slit my wrist. Life is that bad. Do I get down on myself? Yes. But is that first world problems? 100%. So maybe I have, I left Australia at 19. Mm-hmm. So I'm 42 years old now. And that's that's a long time. I was like, damn. But that's a long time throughout it all. And the downs have been epic and the highs have been to the moon, in my opinion, some of the things that I've been able to see, do, achieve. But when it comes to ego, it depends on where you're at. You do need a little bit of false bravado in yourself. You really do need that to get through this world, because this world is a damn bitch sometimes, and that's in what you do and what I do. There's no difference. The world is a tough place.
Yeah.
But buck up, Charlie. Get up. And by that buck up moment was where I put my bootstraps up. And I remember I guess since I was 19 and moved millions of miles away, I've always had that deep in there. It's just harnessed it more. Yeah. And it's kind of polished it out a little bit more. And I do believe ego done the right way. Not ego in the sense that I give you my resume the minute we meet. Mm-hmm. I've built this career enough that people know when I walk in, most of them, who I am, what I do, and how it's done. Yeah. Did I do that in the initial? No. But it's like ego, there's a difference between the finance bro in Miami who's renting the cars and who's doing this. That's ego. That's the Joneses. I got to keep up. Create your own lane. I'm talking about that ego gut.
So where's the association between a positive ego, egocentrism, and confidence? right? It would seem they kind of go together. And both can go south, by the way.
Correct.
But if used effectively in the right combinations, ego and confidence can be a massive asset to someone who needs to get above the noise in a noisy place like Miami.
Yeah,
Fair?
I think you're nailing something above the noise. Let's talk about what is that noise. The noise is in your head. First of all, you got to conquer that noise. Once you conquer that noise, this is a kid's game.
So is that noise doubt? What is that noise?
Doubt, fear, not good enough. My mommy said this. My daddy said this.
Which everyone struggles with.
Everybody, and I don't take issue, and everybody has their own journey, and that's a-okay. I'm good with that. But I say the ego versus confidence, it's actually like when you can get them to meet like this, that's when you reach that optimum mindset. And I do believe everything that I've done in my life and resetting and having to restart multiple times and what have you, is that I can always look 500 steps ahead and be like, well, I'm going to be there. It might take me to do this a couple more times, but I'm going to be there. So it's like having that self-assurance mixed with confidence and the ego. And the ego, you should be proud to own that ego because the ego is earned. False bravado and false ego is when you rent this Lamborghini and you're this and you're that. That's false. You can tell the difference immediately at a party. I'm up in the VVIP, bitch. I'll see you fucking downstairs.
Right.
I said it. Thank you.
So that's good. We could do five podcasts.
That was so egotistical. I disgusted by myself.
We could do 5 podcasts on that last 3 sentences. But you said something before, and I want to use your point that you just made on something you said before. You said you've had high highs and low lows. For someone, and we've all been there, by the way, for someone who's at a low low, how do they apply what you just said when they're at the low low? Right? It's not a fake it till you make it, right? No. You still have to execute. But how do they harness that bravado, as you call it, that ego, when you don't feel confident? How do you express confidence when you're at that point, when things aren't going well? This is a make me good moment.
I'm trying to think truthfully what that looks like. Hell no, you wouldn't even. Maybe I'm going through the lowest moment right now, and you'd never know it. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. You never know. It's showing up and just, number one, feeling grateful that you got out of bed that day. Little things. And I've watched a lot of, like, I don't know whether you would know this fact about me. Way back when I was in Australia, and I'm pretty sure you'll know who this is. I did PR for Dr. John DeMartini.
I know the name.
He was way back in the day. Kind of mental reframing and NLP and what have you. So it's like I've always been fascinated by that. Now that's a strength in character too. So it's like not everybody's gonna be a you, a me, and that's okay. But you can't sit there like this and dream and wish I want better. It's not gonna change until you buck up, sit up straight, and say I want this bad enough that I will get out of bed, that I will brush my teeth, that I will make my... Start with the little things. If I'm that person that's struggling, start with things in your life. Like basic things. Because you can't go from A to Z if your A is depression right now and you're like, life's shit, it's not working, it's hard, you're not going to be able to make that jump like that. You're just not.
Well, and during those times, and I speak from personal experience because I've had them as well, no one wants to be around you because you're throwing out shit energy, right? So you have to... Here's what I like about what you said. It's okay to feel... I don't want to say sorry for yourself, but it's okay to feel bad. Things aren't going well for me
I think it's okay to say sorry for yourself. Yeah, it's okay.
But you have to conjure, right, energy to overcome those feelings so that you're not throwing shit energy out and no one wants to, at a party or whatever event, your world.
Or in business.
Right? No way you're going to make any progress. You have to find a way. You have to find a way to get that back out of you when you're feeling it the least.
Energy begets energy, right?
Is there a trick to that? Or is it just willpower? Is it just
willpower,
sheer willpower?
And it's the decision between failure and winning.
Yeah.
And end of the day, nobody really wants to be a failure.
Yeah.
None of us.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you want to be in that category. And this is, I'm a tougher person than most. And I say this in the thing. Like, if you want to be a little pussy about life, do it for a week. If you choose to squander and live in that, that's your choice. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
This is the difference between success and being on the right path to success.
Yeah.
Because there's no success, I've achieved this. All right, what am I doing next? I'm not resting on the laurels of that. I understand people's life. People get hit with shit. People don't understand why me? That's fine to be like that. But if you get lost in it and you get sucked into that, it's a hella bitch to get back out of that. So
Sure.
I'd rather stay kind of mid-range, give a little woe-be me sometimes, wake up the next day, dust yourself off, and get up and do it again.
Well, it's kind of that old analogy. It's kind of a sports analogy, but don't let the highs get too high and don't let the lows get too low, right? Keep in a healthy place where you're, I don't want to say humble, maybe not the right word, where you're blissfully dissatisfied. That's a word from Ed Milet, right? Ed, I know Ed Milet, he's a podcaster, but
Big fan of him, actually.
Ed used to say, blissfully dissatisfied. Sorry, I said it wrong. I said blissfully satisfied. Blissfully dissatisfied. So I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm proud of where I'm at, but I'm not satisfied. I need to keep reaching, keep striving, keep driving forward. I always thought that was a really good concept.
I feel like that's how you live your life. And I feel like that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
The dissatisfaction is the effort of re-educating yourself too. So for me, honestly, I have this amazing moments and then I'm like, oh, I want more. So it's like learning new things, learning new skills, understanding things so I can be the creme de la creme of anything I want to do.
Yeah.
There is no limit in life. You can go right to the top. It might not be tomorrow, but there is no limit. So it's like, I think it's less about satisfying anybody else, but it's satisfying you. And once you kind of find that peace, I hate the one word I'll never use is balance. There's no such thing as balance. Life is insanely crazy. And when you get in that tumble dryer and work out how to kind of run it like a mouse, like that mouse on the thing, well, if you can work that out, that can be magical. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing that taught me that was building this career in Miami, but at the same time, nearly 7 days a week working with the Chimp. And you've seen that. That's truly how I worked out how to get that creative. And that changed my life, and that probably made me more famous because they're like, that dude's at a party in like a pink dress almost with flowers and shit. And then he's wrestling with a 100-pound chimpanzee.
It did come off rather well.
It works. That's my sales pitch. Thank you.
So you said something interesting, though. Let's keep on. You said there's no balance, but you hear that so much. There's no balance, right, from entrepreneurs. Maybe no balance, but there is a need for some peace. And sometimes, especially in intense periods of our lives, it's hard to find the peace. We do need some peace. We may not need balance, but we do need peace. Did you find peace in that Chimp? There was a lot you got out of that. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But what did it give you? Right? What was it? Something you were missing, or it fulfilled something? It was a connection,
man, brother. That's my man for life. That's my brother.
A special thing. People have gravitated to your relationship with that animal.
Yeah. So for me, the greatest lesson I learned, and this is the corniest you'll ever hear me, was what love actually feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard you say that.
And I thought, so it's like what love is, but what it actually feels like. And I can go down
with the lack of verbal communication,
because there's no way to know until you just know. When you've got a 90-pound beast on top of you that could rip your face off, but intrinsically that's never going to happen. And you hear the breath of that's like that saying, like waiting to exhale, like that. You hear him do that in your ear, being like, I've found maximum comfort and pleasure. Not in that way, people. This sounds real. No, not that way, but you get what I mean.
Direction here. Let's reel it back in. No, I'm kidding. So it maybe it redefined your notion of love and connection. Did you apply that to other human beings as well then, coming out of that?
Not
Are
yet.
you able to? Can you? Is there something you took from that you can apply to a relationship or to a family member or to a friend? Or
Yes, to friendships and family and what have you. Yes, I can understand the need to show up, and my mother lives in Australia. The need to pick up a phone and like have connection.
Yeah.
It did teach me a lot about connectivity and what that means with social circles and what have you. Did it do anything on a love level in terms of meeting anything? Not really. And I'm just like, it did show me though that you can know like that without even having to speak to somebody, that perhaps there's something there beyond a sexually attracted situation, that it's more like, it's like a vibe. There's something there.
Do you think it made, because it was such a powerful connection with a non-human being, do you think it made a connection, a deep, personal, intimate connection with another human being more difficult because now the bar is higher?
Yeah, the bar.
Imagine, right? The bar from the chimp is higher for a human being. It sounds weird, but I'm sensing that was some of what you experienced.
It's, for me, I don't think I'll ever reach that level ever again. And the only other living being that's on that same level is my dog, and that's not just a regular dog. Pull that B-roll now. That ain't no regular. But for me, yeah, it's interesting that the strongest and most real connection I've had is not with a human, and it's not a puppy dog, like with a wild animal that's not inclined to build a connection like that necessarily.
Was that connection instant? Did it evolve? You meet the chimp for the first time. And I don't know how long you guys actually spent together.
6 years.
So a long time. When did you really feel that? Was it early or did it evolve? And talk from what you saw from day two. So it was almost instant.
I came from New York Fashion Week. I arrived to the foundation.
Yeah.
I met him and I was like, oh, he's so cute. And he was sitting on me. He was like this big, like a tiny little tiger.
Yeah.
And then I went back the very next day and I took my dog. And I have the video of him doing this to the dog. And then leaning over and kissing me. And I was like, I ain't never leaving your ass. And then 6 years later, the story evolves into a beautiful moment where it's tragic and amazing, where now he's working himself to realize what he is, that he's a chimpanzee. Yeah. And, hopefully in 6 months' time, we can update people on social media and they can see him on an island with other big chimps and what have you. But, he's very inclined to, he lived 9 years of his life, loved, catered to, but as a human-esque thing. Yeah. Not one of those horror stories, though. Like, there's a lot of... Not that.
So people know the organization was Save the Chimps, right?
No, so he was from ZWF Miami.
Okay.
And he's now at Save the Chimps.
Save the Chimps. Okay, so I want to give a plug to Save the Chimps
since
I
definitely want to...
involved in
They're
that.
involved in his second chapter, but he'll always be, always be a part of the ZWF Miami family with me, Mario, and a few other people that really... It changed all our lives. Yeah. And we all haven't kind of seen each other since. Yeah. December 2nd of last year. But we're doing on the anniversary, December 2nd, at the end of this year. Awesome. We're going to rent an SUV and go surprise him.
Nice. That's awesome.
So we'll see how that... catch that documentary, baby.
I know that'll be emotional and fantastic for you. Let's shift gears here a little bit because I want to talk about, you have some unique perspectives I think we need to dive into. So you meet the who's who. That's part of your job, right? Sir. Is to be around celebrity and influence and money and
David
power. Karli. and then make me good podcast.
That's it, baby.
So you get to meet all kinds of people who have had wild success in life in various ways. What impresses you anymore in people? You meet the creme de la creme, the upper echelons of society. What are you looking for in a person when you meet them? Because you have to establish connection quickly in your job. At parties, in networking, you're great at networking. You can establish connection quickly. But what impresses you about people? What's impressed you about the people you met that you were like, wow? It's not just the hype. It's this person is legit.
Let's start with the non-impressive part. I'm going to start there to show a connection.
Okay.
So for me, I've been here in Miami, coming on maybe like five years nearly, 4.5 and a bit. there is a lot of truth in that you meet somebody and then they watch you grow. And so there's some people recently that I've reconnected with in the scene and what have you that I met years ago. And they weren't very kind. And then recently, they're all up my ass. So I'm like, okay, so what does that denote? That there still is an underbelly of like, oh, you can do something for me now. Come here. Okay, what impresses me about a person is if you can just meet at a banging party and you can talk about bullshit. Whether this isn't this cute. If you can hold a conversation about small things, the small talk conversation, and not get into, so what are you doing here? What do you do? What's your Instagram? What's this? What's that? Oh, look at the followers. Oh, wow. Da, 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 da. That's impressive. The small talk still matters and it's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what you do within the first time we meet. Be like, oh, you're a doctor, wonderful, nice to meet you. What about, we're here doing this, we're here doing that. I think...
So depth, maybe? There's a depth to them, there's
There's definitely not an over-eagerness.
Yeah.
We ain't eager to
they're not driving themselves down your
No,
throat.
but people try to put the fist right in you.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not, no. I think less is more initially.
So the art of subtlety.
Not many people know that. And you've been to enough parties now to see that firsthand.
So how does Matt Dillon, who's such a big personality,
I'm
dial in
Matt
the subtle?
motherfucking Dillon, bitch.
How do you dial in the subtle? Do you use that though? Because people are drawn to you because you're a big personality. That they're naturally drawn to you. Do you have to dial up the subtle?
No, I don't really touch on the. To be honest, I'm very choosy, and I think my energy shows to people. Like I could walk into a room, and if you use Sports Illustrated as that, I came in. We were there, the VVIP's here, and I'm meandering this way. And there's, oh, hi, how are you? Hug. Nice to see you. Keep it flowing. It denotes that, like, who am I going to give my energy to? And it's not about scratch my back, scratch your back, or like, I'm looking for the bigger person to do that. I could spend a night in the corner talking to your wife. Which we generally do at events. And I'm like, oh shit, we hit a network. We should like fucking do something.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I really am acutely aware of being able to look at my surroundings and see what's happening.
Without being obvious though. That's what I've noticed.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
You're scanning the room because you're working, right? You're there to network and that's important to your business.
Absolutely.
But you're not stalking people.
No, I could give.
And then inevitably by the end of the night, you've met 3 or 4 people that are important and can help you.
Correct. And help us.
But there's a skill set there. What can people draw from there? What is a skill set that you can impart on other people going to an event who, like me, may not be terribly good at that? It's not their strong point. That you can say, look, you're at an event. There's important people here that can help you in what you want to do. How do you get to them? It's not just sharing energy. There's got to be some tricks and knacks and things.
There is tricks. It's not being like stuck to the people that you come with. My trick is I go off by myself. And I did that from the day dot. So now I go off by myself.
And what's that vibe, right? You're by yourself.
You're walking
being
and you feel like, all right, so you're not with somebody. So I think people are more inclined to talk to you.
Is it eye contact?
Always.
Okay. So you see someone that you want to meet because you find them fascinating or whatever is the draw. How do you get to that person?
I walked right up to Cuba Gooding Jr. at the Sports Illustrated. I was like, what's up, brother? How you doing? And he's like, hey, man. And we're all taking selfies together. And I was like, that was it. Don't be afraid.
Which brings us back to ego and confidence.
Exactly. I needed to amp up a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay, Cuba says, oh, hi, random stranger. You've got a cool energy. What do you go into then?
There's 3 other girls that know me well. He's the best. I love him. Blah.
Did you plant him there?
No, I didn't. They happened to just be there. So for me, it's like surround yourself by great people, but don't rely on that. Because when you rest on your laurels, in a sense, and when you're looking to grow, and it sounds silly, a party or this or that, you'd be amazed at the people you meet. Some will be lifelong friends, some will be new business prospects. Some people you'll never see again. Yeah. And if you actually remember that last part, you might never see anybody again. You hopped out of bed and got a shirt on. You may as well go and do something, right?
let me have another make me good moment and we'll wrap up with this. So this doesn't happen to you very often, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to make you uncomfortable here. Imagine Matt Dillon goes to a huge party and is a total unknown. No one knows you, which doesn't happen in this town.
Not this town.
Right. But let's say you find yourself in that situation, but it's important for you to network because there's people listening who are going to be in that situation. They're not your personality. They don't have your celebrity. What are some practical tips that you can impart on them in terms of getting that done? Is it be bold? Is it be confident? Is it be throw out a great energy? What are some pearls that we can take from Matt Dillon's unique capacity to work a room? Take homes.
Okay. So I think if you look at the aesthetic of me, I use fashion to be my business card. So there's already a little bit of a wall up there. I use fashion as my armor, and that always generates a conversation in itself. So if you don't necessarily know me, that's a good starter. And that generally is how I've kind of maneuvered my whole career, actually.
Get above the noise.
Get above the noise. Let yourself do this talking. Just by being. And that's generally worked for me. And trust me, there are so many rooms I'm yet to enter. I'll be at the Met Gala in 2 years. I'm giving myself that. That's the hardest room to get into. I'm going to do it. So, and I know a few people on the circumference over here there, but they're big players.
Yeah.
So I'm working towards big player land.
Yeah.
Don't change who you are to fit a narrative in that room. That's a big thing. If nobody talks to you, doesn't matter. Have a cocktail, sit down. That's fine. Like, don't be so eager to be loved by people that you need to, like, make a fool for yourself or be extra loud or extra in charge.
So you can try too hard. And that's obvious.
Do you live in Miami, brother? Hello?
Right?
Yeah, so I just say, like...
This is a skill that not a lot of people have. You have it, right? You're the best at it.
I'm here to make everybody good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So be yourself. Be authentic. Be warm, welcoming.
Be open. And I think that sums everything up.
What does that mean, open?
Open to
in a public
conversing.
Okay.
Not be like this. Be open to anything and any possibility and anything that could come.
So is that body language?
Body language is key. Your overall aura. When your body language is open and you're smiling and you're like happy and what have you, it permeates through. So I want to get that vibe and I want to be like, oh, people that start coming out. Trust me, if you angle yourself in the right way and you give off a good vibe, somebody's going to approach you. And then that will beget another person and so forth and so forth. So anything's possible. But hey, if you sit in the corner all night, that's all right too. You got to build your confidence. You got to build your confidence.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we're going to wrap this up. We'll obviously do more podcasts. It was fun to podcast with you, but
we just talk shit for hours, bro.
We can. That'll be a different topic. But appreciate the work that you've done with me, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I've learned a ton from you. I've learned a lot about being on television. I've learned a lot about being in Miami-esque, events, which are on a different level, as you know. I've learned a lot about branding, all these things. So people who are out there who want to learn more about you, where can they find you? And
mdeffect.com and Matt Dillon 1983 for all things chimpanzee, fashion, biohacking, and life.
Right on. Well, thanks, Matt, for being here,
man.
brother. Always great to see
brother.
you and talk. And we look forward to big things for the rest of this year from Matt Dillon.
Let's go, baby.
Right on.